All right. Shalom, Lord of Christ. This is ISUPK Delaware Thursday night class. Before we get started, going to get your questions together, get your preset books out, whatever it is that you need. You know what I'm saying? This is ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Thursday night scripture breakdown class, history class. Before we get started, get your preset books, whatever you need, whatever you need to make yourself a good student. All right, do it, and then come right back, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got in the house. We got Triple Hall in the house. So look, we're about to get it on, and we'll be right back. All right.
I think we got a problem, got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. It's that club, baby. You hear that? You can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Shigluch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
You can't sit down to that.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Bird, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID, and all that. They rocking strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gonna pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
Man. All right, y'all already know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, this is the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. And it's a Thursday night class. Tonight we usually go into scripture breakdown, and we go into history too as well. But this is also the class where you want to get into so that you can get your topics ready for camp on Saturday. You want to take advantage of those things, because those things will help you out, to become a better officer. And if you are a trooper and you aspire to be a brother that wants to teach, then this is definitely what you should be getting into. These classes, you should do them without fail. You should stay in class. You should be happy about being in class, you know what I mean? Because that's the only way that you're going to get longevity out of it. Remember, this is a marathon. It's not, a race. Well, it's a race, but it's not the 400-yard dash. It's a marathon, you know what I'm saying? And you got to put yourself in the best possible position, you know what I'm saying, to be able to endure. If you are not happy about being in class as much as you could be in class, then maybe you're not in the right, field of expertise when it comes to this, because, remember, basically what you're saying when you want to be in this truth is you're saying that you're giving up your Saturdays. You're giving up your Saturdays. You're giving up, your family comes second to this truth. Everybody in your family, kids too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes second. After that, after this work, then that's when everybody else comes. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord has no problem with getting whatever is hindering you. The Lord has no problem with getting it out of your way. So you want to be happy about being in the truth. Be happy about the things that you could do for the school. And if you can keep that positive attitude, then the years will flow by. But you know what I mean? If you're not, all the way wholeheartedly in it, and you just kind of can't really, decide whether or not you really want to go hard or not, then maybe you should just stand down. Because remember, I've been in school for years now, consistently. You know what I mean? And that's what it takes. Right. Look at General Muhammad. General Muhammad is still in class, and he been in the truth for over 20 years. So ain't nobody got nothing on that. Commander John Yohana been in the truth for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So and also if you're not a fake Israelite, then you definitely need to be putting in some work, because you're gonna let the fake Israelites outwork you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna let somebody on the side of the road outwork you. If you're willing to do that, then you suck anyway. But yeah. So tonight I wanted to go into and tonight I wanted to go into what I'm saying, just kind of like just kind of visit the little civil rights thing for a little bit. Not too much. I want to go into it too much, but I did want to just give everybody a healthy reminder. Not the brothers that's in the school or the sisters that are in the school, but everybody who's not in here that should be. Right now is voting. You see how they got all these voting when you can't even watch a damn video on YouTube without you hearing about Doug Mastriano. Right. Damn. Am I the only one that's seeing that? Like, Doug Mastriano, he's against abortion. He's against abortion. He's a bad man. And they get black people going. They get our people going and get us in the spirit to want to go out and vote for something that's not going to be for the benefit of us as a whole anyway. Right. All right. But let me get that scripture you was holding, Trooper Kahal, and we're gonna take it from there. All right, Danisha Jones. All right, what's going on, Danisha? Danisha's always in here faithfully. Trooper Nahalia. All right, Nahalia, man. You know what I'm saying? In here too. Yeah, get down here, man. You know what I'm saying? I always come past your way. So, we going into these winter months now. And these winter months is going to be harder for people to want to come out that house, because it's cold, and it's warm in the house. It's warm up underneath those covers. And so in those types of times, you want to make sure that you go hard even more. You want to make sure that you hold the line even more, get more militant, so that you can, so that we, not you, but we as a whole, can be in the best possible position for the Lord to send in the increase. The Lord's not going to send in the increase if we're not ready for the Lord to send the increase in. We have to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what I can say about that. You know what I mean? But back to this civil rights thing. This civil rights thing, man, is got to go. I mean, we see what's going on right now. The talk of the town, the talk of everybody is what's going on with Kanye. And it's kind of got overshadowed a little bit because of the brother Takeoff getting killed. 1/3 of the Migos down in Houston. All right. And so we'll see. Hopefully tonight, y'all. The camera was acting crazy. I did a firmware update on the camera, so hopefully the camera will act like it got some damn sense tonight. Yeah, no, you got it.
So, like, sir, if I may, I got a question. What's your? Did you see Kyrie Irving's interview, the latest one he did?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's pretty. It's interesting.
Uh-huh.
He's holding his he's holding it a little bit.
Yeah,
he's holding it a little bit. If he come into school, he'll be solid because he can articulate the information better than Kanye.
Yeah, because Kanye just be all over the place because he doesn't have a teacher. Like that one scripture say, if you could pull it for me real quick, as you be taught. Yeah, that one, that's a great one. But for Kanye, but you can go ahead, Trooper Kahal.
Kind out of one kind, sir. The book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
Right. It seems right for us to go out and vote for somebody. It seems right for us to get in the voting line and do our civic duty as a great American citizen. It seems right. But what? Keep going.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
Right. And that's what we always get at the end of the day. We get death. Where every decision that we make, there is a consequence to that decision that we make. The thing is when we make a bad decision, we got to deal with it for years to come because of that bad decision that we made, you know? And that's why we got to make sure that we are in a position to choose wisely, you know what I'm saying, when we're doing things. Now, we know that Christ is our king. We don't have no other king but Christ. So why the hell are we out here trying to vote for Doug Mastriano?
Right.
Why are we out here trying to vote for Ben Shapiro? You know, Dr. Oz is even on the damn ballot. You know what I mean? You know, Dr. Oz.
Sir.
And this is why, you know, these things has to change if we want to move forward and get better as a people. Shalom. You know what I mean? Because otherwise we can hang it up. You know? Shalom, sir. Shalom, Lord of Christ. You know what I mean? Read it one more time from the top, Triple Call.
Count out of one count. The book of Hebrews, chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
It does, right? It seems right to get out there and vote. It seems right to, you know, want to be a part of America. This illusion. You know, we've never been included in governance of America. Never, ever been included in anything that has to do with making some damn, you know, orders and, you know what I mean, giving out orders. We've never been involved with that. You want to know how I know? Because when Obama was in office, what did everybody say? Well, it's only so much he can do.
Right.
But then what happened when what's his name? Donald Trump was in office. He did everything he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And because we know deep down, we know that we don't have no say so in nothing. It's just it's a superficial title, like chief of police, like principal, like alderman, councilman. You know, those are just, you know, it's I remember it's a part of the black aristocracy. And that's what it is. It's the status aristocracy. It's the part where we feel like just because you have, you know, some sort of status, that means that you can actually change something. You know, this should definitely be a standing room only, especially now. Right. You see, nobody gives a damn about the conscious community, but the conscious community. Even if I didn't believe in what we're saying, if I was one of them Africa, you know, cats, I would say, you know what, this Israelite thing, it seems like it's, you know, holding a lot more power than this Egyptian crap that, you know, we trying to push down people's throats. You know, always stand on that. Don't let this moment pass you by. I'll use this moment forever. You know what I mean? I'm definitely going to use the moment forever. There can't nobody ever come up to camp talking about Egypt. Can't never do that, because there is no power in talking about Egypt and telling black people that they're Egyptians. In fact, the oppressor would rather you say that, because if you say that, then you won't be telling people that they're the real Jews. Right. Then we won't even have to worry about anti-Semitism, because you'll be telling everybody that we're all Egyptian, and we'll be good to go with that. All right? Keep going. Hold on. Was there any more on that?
Just the second part of the verse, sir.
Go ahead.
But the end thereof are the ways of death.
Isaiah 28:15. The ways thereof is the ways of death. Every time we make a bad decision, we die behind the decision that we make, because we don't know how to choose well. You know what I mean? We choose like a people that don't know any damn better or any good about anything. That's why we choose. We make bad decisions because we've never listened to somebody who told us to have good decisions, right? The scriptures shows you how to have a bunch of good decisions where you don't have to, you know, mess up. That's the point of having men over you, right? long as you listen to the men that are over you, you'll be fine in the truth. You won't be the Salakia brother. You won't be the Salakia sister. You'll be good to go. Just listen, and you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Remember, it's a marathon. It's truth, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta definitely stop trying to live up to Martin Luther King's dream. We gotta definitely do something else. I mean, did y'all see that video I posted where it was a Halloween and they had some people dressed up like cops and then the other people were like convicts. It was like white people and they were convicts, all in blackface. And the lady was like, "What are y'all doing? Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know you're not going to be able to go to college by doing this type of stuff." And they was like, "Well, I dropped out of high school." And that, a lot of these, you know, a lot of our people think that, you know, racism is going to die out when the older people that are racist die off. And you see that that's not, you know, not true, because as you see, racism it just gets passed down from generation to generation. And that's just that. Salaki, you had the one about Kanye?
Sir. This is the book of Hebrews.
Oh, give him the mic real quick.
Sir, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Right. You have to be taught. That's why it sounds crazy when Kanye says what he says, because he's not taught by a man who has understanding.
Right.
He's not taught like that. He's just trying to break it down like these fake Israelites who just pop up with a damn group.
Right.
They're just going out there just trying to break it down like Kanye West, and they sound real stupid out there in the streets, and they don't sound intelligent or look intelligent. I seen this cat on TikTok, man. The cat was out there. He looked crazy. Him and his homeboy or something was out there. They had like a little sign out there, and they were trying to be on the side of the road or whatever, and trying to yell at white folks walking by about being the Israelites. And I'm like looking at this. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, these cats really don't want to be a part of anything. They just want to, you just want to teach.
Right.
You just want power, without obtaining the power the correct way. And so you try to shortcut power. You know what I mean? And you could do that. I mean, they did it in the Bible. But at the end of the day, none of that ends up good, because you usually end up on somebody's Facebook or Instagram somewhere, getting made a fool out of. You know what I mean? All right. Go ahead. You're talking to the microphone.
So like even the prince, like in Arab, their kids have been taught to how to run a nation.
Mm-hmm.
So someone's teaching them at a young age to obtain power.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, but our people, we want to get the power without being taught.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the pride that's set in to our people, because we big headed and we don't want to humble ourselves to be taught the correct way to obtain power.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah, that's and that's for any brother, man. You know what I'm saying? You a trooper coming through here. You know what I'm saying? You want to get power. You an officer. You want to get power. You can get it. It's just the right way to go about doing it. And then you got to see, you know what I mean, what type of a person are you with power? Because some people just ain't good with power. Some people just don't need to be in charge. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't handle it. A lot of people have fell behind that, having power and not being able to handle power. And because you can't handle power, then you ain't going to get it. You know what I mean? It's fine if you want it, though. You know what I'm saying? You could get it all day. I mean, that's why brothers get in here and move up in rank. You move up, and it might not exactly be for power just specifically, but nobody wants to stay the same forever. I know I don't. You know what I mean? I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay at captain of 10,000 forever.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's right. Damn right.
You know what I mean? But y'all get my point, man. And for brothers, man, you know what I mean, who trying to be on the fence, and really there is no fence when it comes to this truth. There is no fence. sisters, there is no fence when it comes to the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know what the fence is? You're not on the fence. You're just choosing effing hoes over your brothers and getting free. That's what it is. You just choosing to smoke weed over your brothers and sisters and getting free. You would rather do that than be free. So there is no on the fence. You could get in here and you could do work. A brother called me, and this brother is from Delaware. Y'all don't even know it was another brother from Delaware that was in here. You know what I'm saying? Way before I came in. And this brother hit me up, and he had came back in the class or whatever, like when we was in the library or whatever back then. Came to camp a couple of times, but then he just stopped coming. I talked to him. He said, "Hey," I said, "Well, why don't you come to class?" He said, "Well, man, I got my leg amputated." I said, "Well, you can still come to class." You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me, because your leg is amputated, if that means you can't come to class, then how are people out there running marathons with one leg? Right. One leg. One leg. They doing the whole triathlon with one leg. There's people out there with two legs going, and they got two bungee joints, and they skiing. You know what I'm saying? It's all on your motivation and what you want to do as a person. Because you can't, they got people, and I know y'all seen it, they got people that are playing, that they got whole basketball leagues for people that's in a wheelchair. So you mean to tell me they can do all of that, right? And you can't come and sit down here for 2 stinking hours? 2 hours. I mean, you know what it is? You suck. You suck. That's what it is. You lazy and you suck. That's what it is. Slovakia. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I talk to a lot of people, man, who don't want to come in the truth because, it might be something that is holding them back from this. It could be whatever it is in your mind. But at the end of the day, Thashiyum, when it's all said and done, nobody's going to give a damn. You know what happens at a funeral? I'm going to tell you what happens at a funeral. The people are sad, right? Right. People, when you die, right? People are sad. This is for the people who got an issue with coming in here because they don't want to look like they in a cult. They give a damn about what people think. Check this out. When you die, people are going to be sad, right? Right. Usually up until the funeral. So that's about 2 weeks, right? The funeral gets here. Everything goes through. You at the funeral, bong. Once the funeral is over, the level starts to go like this. You get my point? Concept. People are sad, but as the funeral goes on and the funeral proceeds, like goes all the way to the end, it goes like this, right? It starts going down. People are sad, but then it starts going down. People ain't so sad no more. Then they go to the repast. Then once they're at the repast, everybody eating, throwing it down. You know what I mean? People talking about stuff, talking about going to work tomorrow, talking about getting back. Everybody talking about this. People ain't even talking about the funeral no more. They just talking about, regular stuff, smoking weed, drinking, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Then once the repast is over, everybody go home, go to their respective places. Nobody gives a damn anymore. You're going to be a little bit sad, but now it's really over. And now think about, a year from now, 6 months from now, after your funeral, 6 months from now, nobody's even going to be thinking about it no more. And that's just that. People remember it from time to time. As the years go by, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, everybody that you knew is going to be dead. And then the generation that's going to come after that is not even going to talk about you and not even going to remember anything, about you, because there's nobody else around that really would remember you like that. And so what really are you not coming in the truth for? What are you because of what people might think? Because in some years, as the years go by, nobody's going to remember you anyway. So what the hell are we doing? You get my point? Like, I don't know. I don't know. People, it's like you give a damn about what people think in the now. But, you know, you look at, what's his name? Takeoff, 28 years old.
Right.
Dead on a what? Accident, right? They say it was an accident. Huh? They say it's an accident?
It's getting messy.
Yeah. So we don't know. We don't know what time the Lord is going to call you. You don't know. Brother passed away, died on his way to camp in the school. So you got to make sure that you're putting this brick in and doing the work and doing as much as you can. Because if not, then you don't know when it's going to be your time to go. And you want to, when it is your time, like Christ said, you got to endure until the end. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're in the best possible position. That's all. That's what keeps me focused and keeps me on that path. You know what I'm saying? To do as much. And you know what I'm saying? And we can't get the nation. We can't bring our nation back through civil rights. You know what I'm saying? We can't bring our nation back that way. We can't bring our nation trying to be, you know, friends with everybody. We can't bring our nation back by trying to do it through the LGBT. They trying to do it, but you can't. We're not going to be able to get the redemption that we want, that the Lord promised us by BSing. All right, let me get that. You had. No, I think you were done with that?
A little bit more on this.
Okay, let's go.
All right, it says, I'm gonna take it from the top. This is Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Right, that you gotta get taught again. You know what I mean? Because you think you know something because you went to that stinking church your whole life.
Right.
You think you know something. Nah, you got to be taught again. TD Jakes need to be taught again. You know, but these cats get all the, and guess what? They gonna jump on. You know what these stinking churches gonna do? They gonna jump on the bandwagon because we've been putting all the damn work in. Yep. And guess what they gonna do? They gonna start saying that we the Israelites. These stinking churches are gonna do that. They're gonna start saying, yeah, I knew it the whole time we was Israelites. You know what I mean? We knew it the whole time, because we knew it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody gave a damn about who the Israelites were before because we was already taught who they were. You know, we knew who they were. I mean, we knew they was, the people that was behind the rap music. I mean, we know who physically we know we know who they are, right? Who growing up, that's who we only had one picture of what a Jew looked like. But because we put the work in on the streets, and the ISUPK taught all of Israel that we was the Israelites.
Damn right.
Whole, think of that.
Damn right.
The whole nation learned from the Israelite school, UPK. Everybody. You can try to act like you got it from somewhere else. Like, a lot of people, I knew because my grandfather. No, you didn't, man. Your grandfather didn't know. You know what? Who knew? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge taught you. You might have heard it, but nobody taught it this raw like we do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody taught it in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? And they was the ones that nobody wanted to listen to when everybody was joining Martin Luther King. All right?
And are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
That's Kanye. Kanye is trying to digest meat. He's trying to jump to the book of Revelations. He's like, because the 10 horns, the 10 horns, that's the sea monster that's going to come out of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all the human race. You understand? And I was talking to Mike Zuckerberg. You know what I'm saying? And we were talking, and I was talking to Imani of Adidas. That's how he sounds, and he's not making sense because he's not properly trained like the scripture said you should be, and that's why it sounds crazy. So if he wanted to be able to put it in a way where people would be able to accept it, he would have to get taught, right? And you would have to get milk first. milk first. You know, we tell every brother, man, who's a new officer, you ain't got to go out there and try to impress me. You know, go out there and try to break down revelations. You ain't got to do all that. Just stick to the milk. Break that down. Be an expert at that first, and then you move on. You know what I mean? You ain't got to go out there and, you know, try to show, you know, Taziad, you know how to break down, you know, Revelations, the 13th chapter. You ain't got to do all that. Just break down the milk and you'll be fine. All right? So yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Let me get that right there. What you had? You had Isaiah, what you had? Isaiah 28 and 15? All right, let's get it. Let's see what that is.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
One of my favorite scriptures right here. They did. You know what civil rights movement is? The civil rights movement is a covenant with death. That is a covenant with death because we've been dealing with death for so long, but they made a covenant with death. You told the Lord, man, hey, look, man, we just want to die. You know, we don't want life. You know, and that's what we told the Lord when we did that. We told him we just, you know, and this is my new thing. We've been trying to prove Christ wrong since he said it. Yeah, right. Since Christ said you can't serve two masters, right. We've been trying to prove him wrong. Every day we try to prove Christ wrong. You know what I'm saying? We try to prove that you can serve two masters. You know what I mean? And we try to prove that the Bible is wrong. You know, and the civil rights movement has made a covenant with death. And the civil rights movement is the church movement. The church movement is the civil rights movement. Right. You know, NAACP is the church movement. Everything falls back on church. The Congressional Black Caucus, rooted in the church. The Urban League, rooted in church. Civil rights movement, rooted in church. Everything is rooted in a religious foundation. You know what I'm saying? And this is why. And what do they tell you? They tell you that the laws are done away with. And we all know that breaking the law is sin. And the wages of sin is death. Right. So if they're telling you that the laws are done away with, they essentially are making a covenant with death because they're teaching you to sin. And we know that the wages of sin is death. All right? Go ahead. Keep going.
And with hell are we at agreement.
That's what they're in agreement with this, you know, the civil rights movement. You know, they're in agreement with it. Black Lives Matter don't give a damn about black people at all. You got to be a fool to be still thinking that Black Lives Matter got something to do with black people. You think I'm lying? I got it up on my page. They spent $80 million. Every single thing that they spent it on was about transgender rights.
Right.
Everything. Did you see it, my brother? You ain't see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man. Everything, every stinking dollar that they got, they use it to further the transgender rights, LGBTQ. Everything. I'm talking about everything. There is nothing that it was on the table for black people. Nothing. Everything was rooted in sex. Right. Everything. All right, y'all recall. Shalom. Yahweh Shema, Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shai. To you, Most High in Christ. That's the whole thing, man. I'll show you before we roll out, Quahal, because I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens, man, she did a bad interview, a bad documentary on Black Lives Matter, man. You know what I mean? And that's where Kanye was getting that whole George Floyd died of fentanyl, right? Because in that documentary, it talks about in the back seat, there was some chewed up pills that were in the back seat of the police car on the floor. And so they're saying that George Floyd tried to eat them. He tried to eat what he had, and they were fentanyl pills, you know, to try to hide it so that he wouldn't go to jail for it. And what happened was the whole time that he was having a struggle with the police, this is what they're saying in the interview, in the documentary, that he was actually ODing while everything was going on. He was really ODing, and that he OD'd That's what they're saying in this documentary, and that's what Kanye said, and that's why people took it in a bad way because they didn't see the documentary.
Right.
Because he said it, you know what I mean? When he said it, it sounded like it was something he came up with until after the fact. Go ahead.
It's a lot.
You got the remote? I mean, I said, Mike.
It's a lot. So, and even what he said isn't exactly what the documentary said neither.
Mhm.
Kanye had a lot of stuff going on in his brain that he wanted to get out, and he was confusing, mixing up some stuff.
Right.
So even what he said really didn't, because the documentary didn't show that Chauvin's knee wasn't on his neck. It didn't show that. It showed that it was on his neck.
Right.
So even Kanye was just talking. He was just talking.
He was just talking. Right. So, yeah, he just was just running his damn mouth. Read it one more time, Trooper Cahal.
From the top.
Yeah.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
That's what they think. Go ahead.
For we have made lies our refuge.
That's what the civil rights movement has done. The sister at my slavery, man, she went to the NAACP. She went to an NAACP event. And you know what she said to me? She said, everybody in there was white. The NAACP, giving awards to all white folks, because the whole thing is not about, it's not about freeing us. It's not about anything like that. It's about pandering. Pandering because we feel that we can we've advanced. We have advanced in a way by pandering. You know what I'm saying? Like we've advanced by letting everybody walk over top of us.
Right.
We have advanced that way. But we're only gonna advance to a certain level before you cap out. You know what I'm saying? Like we've advanced by, oh man, oh, we love everybody. Oh yeah, we love everybody. Oh man, just letting everybody walk up, giving all your resources away to everybody who comes over here with sandals on from a foreign country. You know what I mean? We give all our resources away, right? It must be the sandals because we give it all away. And it gotta be the sandals. There's something in them. You know what I mean? Because we give all our resources away to whoever comes over here from a foreign country with sandals on. And we give it away, and we give it away happily. And guess what? We might advance a little bit, right? But it's only so far we're gonna go. What do we get from that advancement? We get just a few cosmetic changes along the way. And that's all we ever get. It's just cosmetic changes. Nothing ever changed. The dynamics of our relationship with the oppressor has not changed since slavery, period. It has not changed. I don't give a damn what you say. It has not changed. Still the same power dynamic. You know what I mean? I'm about to do another lecture called The State of White Supremacy, Part 2. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, we never advance, and they trying to keep that same game up. The Urban League, the Black Caucus, all of those different, groups, what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep that same game plan. The game plan is to always sell out. The game plan is to always let everybody walk over you. The game plan is to always pander. As long as you do that, then we'll be okay. A few of us has got to get sacrificed along the way, but for the greater good of everybody, and these black groups trying to keep the oppressor from really showing that he's the devil the Bible speaks of, then we'll take the low road, and we'll take the coward road, and we'll teach it to our kids, and our kids will teach it to their kids, and their kids will teach it to their kids, and we'll just keep staying in this, illusion that we have some say-so in something, and that's why we do it when we that illusion, they play into it every single time when it comes around time for voting season. How stupid can we be? The power is in not voting.
Right.
That's the power. Not voting. If we don't show up to the polls, they're gonna be like, damn, what happened? What's going on? Why they don't want to do it? If you look, it's a article that you can look up, and it's about the Chinese community, and it's an article entitled "Why I Don't Vote," and it's a Chinese man who talks about how Chinese people are the number one growing minority in America, and they don't vote. They don't vote. They could give a damn about voting, and they stay separate. They don't get involved with America, and because of that, America respects them, and they have Chinatown in every major city. You know what I mean? Because of it. And the sooner we can figure out what the hell they're doing, maybe we need to, I don't know. Maybe we need to get some, start eating, start eating with chopsticks or something. Maybe we need to start, taking on their philosophy, because it seems to be working, don't it? It works, don't it? But the way we try to go with the sex way. Right. That's the way we want to get free. We want to get liberated by who you choose to feed to your mattress. You know what I mean? That's how we want to. It's like. Okay, so Kyrie, it said, Koyasma said, Kyrie Irving will serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures that addresses the harmful impact of his conduct. Yeah.
So you suspended indefinite. Wow.
We will serve a suspension without pay. And what's so crazy is that those brothers who do stand up like that and speak out on behalf of black people should not even have to worry about playing basketball again. Right. Kyrie shouldn't even have to play basketball again. Right. Everybody should just band together. I mean, what the hell? You sitting on how much money LeBron sitting on? Just hoarding money. You know what I mean? It's like at some point you just hoarding money. Like you're never ever going to be able to spend it anyway. Think of it, right? Think about what a billionaire is. You just hoarding money. I know Kanye wished now that he just was spending the money, right? While you had it, you should have just spent it. Right. But you sitting there, you just want to look at it. You know what I mean? Everybody just want to look at the bread. Like, yeah, look how much money I got in the bank. I'm worth $500 million. It's like, well, damn, say the wrong thing, they're going to take it all. And you ain't even going to be able to spend none of it. I'd have been like, I'd have been digging into that billion before they even decided to take it. Then he at least could have had all the stuff, you know what I'm saying, accumulated. They'd be like, man, this guy has, if it was me, they'd be like, man, this guy got 3 warehouses full of shoes. Yeah, you know what I mean? They gonna spend, I'm gonna spend the bread. You know what I mean? I'd have had ranches and everything. Like, they don't think like that. Like, our entertainers, they don't think like that. And it further just shows that you can, when you're an entertainer and you got money, you can only consume. You can't use the money to better black people. If, you know what I'm saying? If you want to you could use the money, but you got to use it in Africa or something. Right. You got to go to Africa and get fresh water for a village. But you can't use it to uplift, the conditions in, Detroit. They ain't having that. But you can buy belts and, Louis Vuitton and Da Vinci and, Versace, and you can do all of that. You can consume with your money, but you cannot uplift the community with your money. Because why only cults do it? I mean, the cults actually do be having, a good ideal behind it, but it be the leaders start saying he's Jesus and he just start molesting the kids and all that. But the ideal, you know what I mean? Like Jim Jones, he went out to Guyana and bought land and built up Jonestown. You know what I'm saying? The Rajneesh cult, they had a ranch that had like 69,000 acres of land. They built a whole community. The community was so big that they started voting out the like the city council, they had so many people on the cult, right? In the cult that was on the land and they were part of this town called Antelope, Oregon, or a town called Antelope. So Antelope had like a city council, board members and all that on the city council. They had so many people in the cult, they started voting. They voted for their own candidate. When the election time came, they voted for their own candidate. They had so many people in the cult that they just voted their own candidate into office, and then that candidate went to another candidate, then it went to another candidate, and then they just kept voting everybody in to the point you had the whole cult was on the board, on the city council board. And it was actually only 2 people that was actually really from the town that was actually in, that was on the board. You know what I mean? And they had so many people that they came up with their own police station. They had their own police station. They had their own, elected officials and everything in the town, and they did it from a cult. So just imagine with the money that we have as a nation, as a people, as that these entertainers have, what they could actually do. We can look it up right now. I can show you a ranch right now, a ranch with thousands of acres of land on it, on this ranch, that you could just go on there and just build homes, build houses, build neighborhoods, build whole communities, build stores, build banks, do it all right on your own property. But we don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess a belt is more enticing, sneaks and shoes, and I guess that's better. But that shows that a black man in America has no power. And I'm going to end it, but a black man in America has no power. You have no power. Y'all see Puff Daddy out there looking stupid in the damn elected Joker? Right. And I just ask myself, like, we're still children. How old is Puff? 58 years old, and you still dressing up in a Halloween costume. And you a billionaire now, right? A billionaire black man right now. Do you see Donald Trump dressed up? No. Do you see Jeff Bezos dressed up? You know what I mean? You might say, okay, well, we saw, what's his name? Elon Musk. Yeah, but he's the devil, the Bible speaks of. He can do whatever the hell he wants. You know what I mean? But you get my point, though. Right. I'm talking about, at that point, when you got $1 billion, as a black man, you're supposed to be distinguished. You know what I'm saying? A distinguished gentleman at that point. You know what I mean? Like, where you're not playing no more games. You don't see like black billionaires at that level of success with a damn, costume on. Did Jay-Z wear a costume? And probably ain't nobody knows, pictures out there with Jay-Z like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have a certain level of respect, and you got to have people respect you as that. And you can't do it by dressing up like the Joker. And this cat is really out there trying to really act like the Joker. Right. Crazy. And this is why we don't get respected by other nations. It's this video out right now, man. It's a Mexican cat, and he's talking about black people. And he says, it's great. I mean, what he was saying was great. He said, Mexicans, we look out for each other. You know what I mean? He was like, if black people, if y'all did the same thing, y'all would be better off. And he also said, black people, instead of y'all working together, y'all try to compete with each other. And I tell you what, man, Mexicans, they have a great brotherhood. I guess it's maybe because the captivity we went through, it was just a different one. They went through, it seemed like all the ones that went through the Assyrian captivity, I don't know. But they seem like to be have a little bit more group cohesion. But the one we got, we just hate each other. We got Willie lynched. we got Willie lynched. You know what I'm saying? Because we just can't stand each other. You know what I mean? And this Mexican cat, a lot of people will probably look at that like, man, who he think he is to try to critique black people. But he actually had valid points, and the truth is the truth. You can't fight that. It's the truth. So yeah, we definitely could do a lot better. All right, man. So Kyrie Irving got suspended for tweeting a title of a movie
It's saying he should be suspended.
Oh, should be. Okay.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
So it said Nets. Well, Kayasha put it in there. He said, and I know he watched sports, right? So he said the Nets say Kyrie Irving will serve a suspension without pay. I said he will. I guess so. Maybe it might not be out. And all he did was tweet a picture of Hebrews and Negroes.
Wake up.
I think we got that book. I think we got that book up here. Hebrews and Negroes.
We got it.
It is here.
He tweeted like it. He tweeted to go watch the video.
Right. Go watch the video. And Jeff Bezos is not even on it. He's not even on it. Where they would say, he had something to do with it because it's on his platform.
It's on Amazon. Yeah, I watched it.
What is it, like a documentary?
It's a documentary, and it talks about. I watched it again this morning.
Is it whack?
It is. It's real
whack.
hard. He's mainly focusing on Africa. Yep.
Oh, Africa.
Yep. He mainly focused on Africa, because I right when I was coming in the truth, I had right when I was coming in the truth, I had a debate with him.
Oh, okay. And he in the documentary. That's why I was saying last night in class, and I was putting it out there. What's in the film that makes it anti-Semitic? Mm-hmm. And I was asking the question because if you notice, nobody's really saying what's in it. Like I heard one person this morning say he watched it, and it was a basketball player. It was the one from Chicago. He played for the Chicago Bulls and he got hurt. Yeah, Williams. He said he actually said some of it is good. He said some things I disagree, some things I agree. But it's mainly about migration patterns, DNA, and linguistics. It showed that Israelites had migrated to the west coast of Africa and South Africa and all that stuff. So he don't really he does touch on the 12 tribe chart. Mm-hmm. You can tell he been watching Captain Katazai.
Oh, okay.
But he just touched on it. He don't really go that hard in it. It's mainly about DNA. So.
Oh, okay. All right, man. So I think would be a good place to stop there. 801. All right, so it'll be a good place to stop there. We're gonna go ahead and just cut it short because we got to do this minor council. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the class over to if anybody got any questions. Yeah, no. All right, no sweat. I'm going to pass it over to Precinct Officer.
All right, this is ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if you have interest in a particular person, you seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment, Ma'asharah, is 10 in Hebrew. That's Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. That's 10% of any increase the Most High give to you, all right? All right, we have a priest fund. It's not mandatory whatever amount you like to give, you may give. We got up and coming Holy Convocation, which is the Feast of Dedication, all right? Where you come, make sure you come. What are we going to be having at this year, sir?
Down there.
All right, we're going to be having it down in Smyrna at 202 North DuPont Boulevard in Smyrna, Delaware, all right? Bring something to dedicate it to the temple.
Right.
That's what it's about. It's about dedicating the temple back to the Most High power, right? We got to get the temple right and bring gifts, bring something. I already talked to a couple of young men and officers down in Smyrna, and I was telling them what they should bring down, just giving an idea. So make sure y'all bring something, all right? Now, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, scarf, a headband, and saying that, a mijum. We're going to get a brother's courtesy salute, a mijum Shabbat, a mijum, Barak.
Yeah, how about Shimmy Shabbat?
Sorry, return. We're going to get a sister's a courtesy salute. Sisters, a mijum means to stand, a mijum Shabbat, a mijum, Barak.
Yeah, small on the thumb of
Shimmy Shabbat. Yaya Matah, class dismissed.
You can leave them down.
Just start leaving them down from now on.
Only like something like I guess when we start to mess it up, I guess, because it seemed like it could probably help out.